Man, it feels awesome. It feels like I've earned it. It feels like I've done something. That's really it.
Great. Thank you for that. We'll go right into questions here, and we'll start with Devin Jackson from the Philly Inquirer.
Hey, Kobe, thanks for the time. Wanted to ask about a coach that was formerly on staff, Stacy Collins. He's now coaching at Boise State. He was special teams coordinator at Penn State, but also assisted with linebackers. What do you remember about him? And how was he as a coach, and how cool was it get to play against him on Tuesday?
I remember he was a funny guy, funny coach. He's always dialed in on being detailed and intentional and doing things the right way. But just from my perspective, he's a great guy, just like any other coach. But he was always dialed in and focused on being intentional. But as for seeing him on a game day, it's probably just be good to see him again. Say hello, shake hands a little bit. But that's really it.
Thank you. We'll go to Rich Scarcella.
Hey, thanks for the time today, Kobe.
No problem.
In what ways has Jayen Reed made your defense better? And in what ways can you describe his leadership and how important that has been to you guys?
Ways he makes our defense better is how he controls the secondary, the back end, how smart he is, how he facilitates once he's out there on the field, his communication as well, and just the way he brings other guys up to his level. Like, a lot of guys have certain traits about their game and, certain things they do good or bad, but just the way that he bring guys up to his level and the way that, he just wants guys to be like-minded just like him. So that's probably the best thing. He brings his leadership, his smarts, and the way he communicate.
All right, Audrey, you're up.
Hey, Kobe, appreciate your time. I'm wondering just how much of Ashton Jeanty you've seen in this past week, and what you can kind of tell us about obviously the challenges that he presents.
I've seen a bunch from him already. I would just say the challenges he present, like him being a smaller back, but more kind of compact, not really different from nothing that we've seen all year. He has a great running style. He definitely looks like a high IQ player. And they definitely get going behind him. So he gets to going, their team gets going. He don't. Their team's kind of shaky. But he's definitely a great player, great back, and it's gonna be a great challenge for us come game day.
Thank you. We'll go with Daniel Gallen.
Kobe, you and Jalen obviously go back a while to growing up in Detroit. How have you seen him grow? Since you first met him to now, where have you seen the biggest changes in him up to this point?
I would just say like the way he's become more into more of a Jalen Reed, if that makes sense. Everybody get here freshman year and have aspirations of playing or just seeing the field and just getting out there. But the way he's developed, transcended, and made his stamp and his name. He made himself and he had to. But the way he just transcended and grown and the way he comes about it every day, same guy. He definitely grown in certain areas and got better, and which he took full accountability in, and he's great for us right now, man. So, yeah.
All right, John, you're up.
Thanks, Scott. Kobe, if I'm not mistaken, I was talking with you sometime last year, and you mentioned that you had began meditating or talked about how meditation had become part of your approach. If that's true, is that something that you're still doing? And if so, in what ways has that helped you as a player and as a student athlete?
Oh yes, it's something I'm still doing. But ways it's just helped me as a player is just really talking to myself. Meditation really isn't like the legs crossed with the humming sounds and all this. I think it's just taking the time to talk to yourself and just let the thoughts come to you naturally, let them just flow. But I think it just helps with everyday doings, kind of just getting away from the team or, coaches, not saying it like that, but, getting away, taking time to myself and collecting my thoughts personally, and then just reflecting on certain things, like, just certain things reflecting on and just looking back. But I think it definitely it plays a big part in my process, my routine, and definitely a lot of guys should start meditating.
Seth Engel, statecollege.com.
Hey, Kobe, thanks for the time. You talked about Jeanty before. When we talked to Coach Allen, he said he would kind of compare him to Derrick Henry in some ways just because of how hard he is to tackle. Have you seen or played against anyone that maybe you'd compare him to?
Um, I would say more of like Fat Man is a guy I can say because Fat Man is one great back and also a guy that's hard to tackle. Um, I would kind of compare him to like just from this. I can't really. Oh, I can. I would say Blake Corum, just from his running style, how compact and short he is, and how he's decisive when he's hitting holes and how he reads his blocks. But I would say Blake Corum just from him being around the same size but a little bigger. But they kind of have the same type of style. But Gentry's a great back.
Thanks. We'll go back to Audrey.
Hey Kobe, obviously season's not done yet, but when you kind of look at this year, and I know you guys don't often take much time to reflect on the season when you're in it, but what are the moments from this year that you're going to kind of remember most so far? Like, are there certain plays that you made or certain moments where you're like, man, I'm going to remember this, many years from now?
I mean, I got a great memory when it comes to certain plays and certain games, but um, hey, I want to say this first playoff game we had, it was definitely memorable just from with being the first playoff game that I've played in so long, and the first playoff game that been held here in forever. But that's probably the main thing, winning the Rose Bowl. But I think we definitely the path we're on right now is definitely gonna change my answer, come later with the most memorable here. But yeah, hopefully, win this game, next game, and get the ultimate goal, and that'll be the most memorable to me.
Rich Carcella.
Kobe, how did DeLuca gain your admiration, your respect from the time you first met him? And can you describe his value to this current defense?
I think he gained my respect from the first time we got here by just us being both like-minded. We were in the same class. Came in same time. I think he early. No, he didn't. I don't think he early enrolled. But we was in the same class. But I know me and Dom just had a connection ever since day one. I just told Dom last week, like middle of the game. It was after the play though. Like, man, Dom, I love you, man. You're my guy because he's just so crazy on the field. He's a great guy to play with. But I would just say just us being like-minded. We think a lot alike. Um, we coach each other up because we're the old guys in the room, and guys respect us, and we respect the guys that respect us, and me and Don respects each other as well. So yeah, I would just say the respect thing, and like we both work hard, so that's another thing that kind of got me and him a little closer is our bond from workouts and meetings. But yeah, he's definitely been great for us and for this team, man. Like for me, I would say like he's like a miniature version of Tyler Warren on the defense because you can put him at any spot. He can do anything, and he can get the job done efficiently. So, yeah, man, that's the great player, great guy, DeLuca.
Devin.
Yeah, Kobe, as a kind of a follow-up, just the linebacker room in general, obviously with Dom, Tony Rojas, yourself, how fun has it been this season for you, all you guys making plays in different moments of the season and coming up big for the Penn State defense?
Oh man, it's been fun just seeing the production grow in our room. Earlier in the season, some guys might have expectations or certain things that they want to reach towards, and I don't think that was the thing that the linebackers really stressed or was really focused on doing our job and letting the plays come to us, and the production to speak for itself there. But I think we definitely had our ups and downs throughout the season. Guys got better, growing from mistakes, and I definitely see the transition from guys correcting the mistakes that we've made earlier in the season. And I would just say our confidence is definitely like is going through the roof as the season gets longer. Our confidence is getting stronger, and we're definitely just taking pride in playing defense and playing linebacker the right way.
We'll finish out with Kobe with a question from Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Kobe, appreciate the time today. We were talking with Nick Singleton yesterday about Ashton Jeanty, and he mentioned the importance of wrapping him up as opposed to going for a big hit. Um, what are the challenges that come with just getting a guy like that down? And also, how do you feel that this Penn State defense has done with wrapping up just throughout the season?
I would just say, from my standpoint, if you wrap a guy up, it wouldn't be that difficult. You know, just like any other guy carrying the ball, you have to wrap up rather than try to go in for a kill shot or just try to go for the ball. You got to wrap up first. And that's just the way I think, the way I play. When I'm going for a tackle, I'm always shooting my arms or, kind of just trying to wrap people, claw them in. But it's definitely a point of emphasis that we got to be locked in on this week, as a defense, especially wrapping up, keeping our feet running through tackles just like every week. Is a thing that we emphasize and thing that we hold ourselves accountable on is tackling, and that's gonna be big for us this week. So that's really it. Just another thing we gotta dial in on, and guys is gonna take that as an opportunity and take advantage of it.
Kobe, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.